With a potential fight brewing between Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, there's a lot of talk going online. Tank versus The Dream has got to be one of the most anticipated fights in boxing history. So obviously it was going to get the whole world talking. But hey, things escalated when two boxing legends started a heated argument online over epic clash. And if you're wondering who those two legends may be, well, I got just the names for you. I'm talking about none other than the face of boxing, the most ferocious boxer, Iron Mike Tyson, and the guy who turned boxing into business, Floyd Money Mayweather. Yep, you heard that right. Floyd and Mike have never had the best relationship, but let's just say things reached a new level when they started talking about Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. I mean, some nasty words were thrown, and this sent the entire internet into a frenzy. The fans can't get enough of this, and there's a lot to uncover with this one. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive into this drama. It all started when Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney verbally agreed to fight each other. After Devin Haney's dominating victory against Regis Prograis, The Dream didn't waste a single second and called out the one and only Gervonta Davis. Haney made it crystal clear that Tank is next. He said, "Tank is a coward. He's scared to death of me. He always says he wants to fight when I have a fight lined up already. Well, now I'm free. Let's make it happen. There's no backing out. No more running." He added, "I've been doing that same thing for years, just killing myself to make weight. The world said I was pillow-fisted. Now, once I move up and I'm actually healthy, you all have every excuse in the book. I'm free now. I'm down for the challenge." Now that sounds like a man with a plan. Well, if we know one thing about Gervonta Davis, it's that he's not one to stay quiet and let the other guy do the talking. He fired back and accepted the challenge. "Let's run it, little boy. I will happily be the one to end your winning streak. It's game on." You heard the man. It's game on. Now the fans were expecting Floyd Mayweather to back his guy, Tank Davis. I mean, Money Mayweather is known for poking his nose in everything that goes down in the boxing space. It was only a matter of time Money started running his mouth, and so he did. But what Floyd said shocked everyone. He did not back Tank in this beef. Yep, that's right. Instead, take a look at what he said. "Devin Haney is in form. He keeps winning. There's only one guy that can finish the job with Haney, and it's not Gervonta. It's Ryan Garcia. Say what you want, but this is what I believe. I think Haney would get the better of Tank." Okay, this has got to be the craziest switch up in boxing history. And if you're thinking that what Floyd said is completely bizarre, well, you're not the only one to think that. When Mike Tyson heard of this, he called out Money for betraying Gervonta. Is it just me? Or is Floyd Mayweather out of his mind? Him and Gervonta were best buds. They trained together and everything. Why is Floyd backing up Haney? Mike added, "And as far as the fight between Tank and Haney goes, I think Tank's got that one in the bag. Garcia and Haney, they're the same type of fighters. And we saw what Tank did to Garcia. I think he gets it done in 3 rounds. Damn, Mike Tyson took a few shots here and there, but you just know, when something happens in this space, Mike and Floyd are always going to be on opposite sides. When Floyd came to know what Mike said, yeah, let's just say it didn't sit well with him. With an ego like his, he was not having it." Floyd tweeted back to Mike, "And let's just say, from this point on, things only got more sour." Floyd Mayweather said, "Mike, you're getting old. You don't know what's what anymore. You talk a lot, but you don't make sense, my guy. What happened between me and Gervonta is none of your business. Stay in your limit, big guy. And when I say Haney beats Gervonta, I mean it." Floyd added, "I say Haney beats everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Haney is beating them. Devin Haney over everybody. That's how it's going to be. That boy is special. The Dream is one of a kind. He adapts to every fighter, and once he adapts to you, it's a long night. We've seen Haney go forward, we've seen Haney stay in the pocket, we've seen Haney move and how defensive-minded he is. Haney is just an all-around great fighter. It's not every day you see Floyd Mayweather praising fighters like that, but hey, Floyd would rather put Haney on a pedestal than support Gervonta Davis." Yep, that's right. Tank and Money don't see eye to eye anymore, and there's a reason why. Well, it was quite simple. Gervonta Davis was done being shadowed by Mayweather. He was ready to walk his own path, not the one Mayweather had paved from him. He left Mayweather Promotions, and let's just say it didn't sit right with Floyd Money Mayweather. This boxing legend said, "There is nothing like taking a kid that comes from the same background as you and helping them put them in a position to become a multimillionaire, you know." He added, "You meet this kid, he comes up to you for an autograph. You sign the autograph for him, then I tell him in a few years, when you get older, I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to make you a world champion someday. Years later, I started working with him, helped him, pushed him to be great, and if he feels like he grew wings where he can fly and becomes his own boss, then he's making a mistake. He can't fly on his own. He'll fall. Damn, that took a dark turn. I mean, he could have been a little supportive, but no, it's Floyd Mayweather. The only thing he feels is pride. But he's definitely gonna feel what Mike Tyson said to him next. Oh boy, that was just wild. Get this. Mike replied to Floyd in style. The legend said, "Keep your bias aside, man. You have no respect for this sport. The only reason you back Haney is because Gervonta left your promotion. Grow up, Floyd. For a man who is pushing 50, you act like a 3-year-old. You know Gervonta beats him, but you won't admit it." "Damn, now that's gotta sting," Floyd replied to him without wasting any time. "All right, Mike, you keep talking. I say Haney wins. You say Gervonta wins. Who do you think the fans will believe more? The guy who's never lost in his career, or the guy who's got knocked out?" "Yeah, that's what I thought." "Okay, Floyd Mayweather turned the tide? Because if that wasn't cold, then I don't know what is. I mean, how does one even recover from this?" Well, this left Mike speechless, and the fans started talking. This feud on social media became bigger than the fight between Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis. It took the internet by storm. "Just look at what the fans are saying." One of them tweeted, "Mike is right. Floyd is too biased to say anything logical. I don't see a world where Devin Haney beats Gervonta Davis. It's too much of a stretch if you ask me." Another fan said, "What do you say? Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather on the undercard? That would be nuts." Would you look at that? Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. Now you can't put that on the undercard, come on. That's gotta be a main event. I mean, these two are old, but if they still got enough gas in the tank, then who knows? It's boxing. Anything can happen in this sport. But if that fight were to actually happen, it would be the end of Floyd Mayweather. Yep, that's right. And if you don't believe me, believe Terrence Crawford, because he explained it the best. Bud said, "Mike would ruin that boy's career. He'll ruin his career, trust me. It'll be the end of Floyd Mayweather." He added, "Iron Mike Tyson is a different animal. Most fighters at that age start declining. He gets better and better each fight. He takes care of himself. He's a student of the game. They better quit playing with Mike." You heard the man. And it comes down to Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. You gotta take Mike's word. This legend is true to this sport. Whereas Floyd, on the other hand, well, boxing purists blame him for ruining boxing. So if Mike says Gervonta is gonna come out victorious, then I'm putting my money on Tank Davis. The problem, child, Jake Paul also gave his prediction for the brawl between Tank and Dream. And you can't miss out on what he said. This fight will be a massacre. Haney cannot punch his way through a wet paper bag, and he sure ain't in the same league strength-wise or in boxing IQ. Shakur Stevenson showed me enough in several sparring sessions to suggest he has the measure of Haney, and he sure will go tell Bud exactly how to piece Devin up. This is a mismatch, a blowout, a non-starter that will see Haney put in hospital if he is fool enough to step in with Tank Davis. Well, that's another man vouching for Tank. Guess we'll have to just wait and see how this one plays out. So there you have it. Fight World. That's all I have for you today. Make sure to like this video, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.